As you and I talk early in 2012, much of American foreign policy debate concerns Iran. How threatening it is, what if anything can be done about it, how the U.S. should view military versus non-military means. What is the right way to think about Iran and its nuclear threat or non-threat?
The first thing I'd say is that the sort of mad mullah approach is probably not, does not make sense to me. I think Ahmadinejad in certain moods seems a little unbalanced, but I think he's clearly not the real power in Iran. And the real power is pretty rational calculators. I don't know whether they're good theologians, but they are pretty good at rational calculus. And so I think to start with the assumption that deterrence is not a concept that would be applied to Iran, I think is a mistake. And that would be as true on the Israeli side as more generally. On the other hand, there are some real problems with it. Sort of in the rational world, there are real problems with a nuclear Iran. One of them would be that a nuclear Iran is probably the end of any real serious international non-proliferation effort. That the Saudis, the Turks, I think sooner or later, a number of other people start getting bombs if the Iranians get them. And there are people who say, well, that just means, ultimately all 200 members of the UN will have nuclear weapons and everyone will be deterred. Who knows? Yeah. I'd rather personally stop short of that. Obviously, the goal of our policy should be to avoid having to make that choice. And that, I think, is pretty much the policy that we see. And frankly, I think if we had a Republican president, I don't think it would be that. I think it's one of the cases where it's fairly obvious what you need to do. The price of the policy that we followed is, in order to assemble an international coalition and build the sanctions and do covert ops and whatever else is going on, the president has to really elevate this issue and say over and over again, the bomb is unacceptable, we can't accept it. Well, this pretty much paints you into a corner. You cannot go on for 5 years calling something unacceptable when your plan B is to accept it.